Hey, welcome to this video where I'll be making a lovely bowl. That big chunk on the front that I'm kind of paring down. I screwed into that with my faceplate in order to get the tenon on the other piece of cherry that is on the base that's in the chuck squared away. So I thought I could use it as like a top ring, but I ended up not liking that idea so much, and so I just tore it all away. So I had this really great idea where I was like, I wonder if I could put two pieces of wood together, you know, have like an inside and an outside piece. I did that, and you can see that thin strip there in that picture. And then I had, you know, the extras, and so I glued all those together with the Padauk on the outside and the Purpleheart on the inside. And once that was done gluing up, I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, so I just cut it into squares. And so when I cut it into squares, and I glued that up into that rectangular prism, I was like, oh, what if I turn this? There's another bowl I made where I did something similar, where I kind of layered material around an inner core. So I decided, hey, you know what, I'll just do that again. And I have plenty of cherry, I'll just start with that. And so I started wrapping it in cherry, and then I started, you know, the second time around. And then I added a little piece of walnut in the corner, and that was immediately prior to wrapping that side in walnut again. So the side with the little corner walnut got two more pieces on those sides, and I think that really adds to kind of the dimensionality of the piece. I thought that would be fun, and I really wanted to keep as much of this color as possible, as much of the layering as possible in the piece, and that's why I ended up putting that off the center, so that I would still be able to see a lot of that layering and that figuring through the piece, as opposed to having it in the center and losing most of it in the process of turning the bowl. So I'd like to talk for a minute about sanding turned projects that are still on the lathe. And I love turning and I hate sanding, much like many woodworkers. However, I really do love a very fine finish. Like, since I am a lazy woodworker in terms of sanding, what I did on this one was 60, 120, 320, 1200, and I really prefer using those 5-inch sanding discs. And really, I've started to come to rely on those 5-inch sanding discs more than any other type of abrasive for turning, because of two things. Firsthand, they don't wear out as quickly. For a while, I was buying sheets of abrading material, of sandpaper, and I really would blow through, like I would go through a whole 8x10 or 8x11, whatever it is, sheet of 50 grit to kind of bring it down to get all the contusion-y bits out of a piece. You know, the parts that stay really rough, especially if that piece included Purpleheart, because Purpleheart takes so long to sand. And you know, those pieces of sandpaper would just heat up so hot in the hand, and it would be a really difficult, long thing. They'd fill up quick, and then they'd start to burn the piece, and it was a mess. But those 5-inch orbital sanding pads stick together really well. They don't tear apart like the sheets do. They don't hold a whole lot of dust in the grit, which is fantastic in my opinion. And because they have that Velcro padding on the back, it's a lot cooler on the fingers when you're applying pressure on something spinning really fast. And I also leave my lathe at about 3,000 RPM while I'm sanding, which I know isn't, you know, technically correct. I should drop that to 750 or whatever the minimum is on my lathe. But I like to do it really quickly, and so really quickly and as painlessly as possible means 3,000 RPM with these 5-inch orbital sanding discs. One of the other things that I really like to do is to apply mineral spirits. So I typically take my air compressor and blow out the piece, blow off the piece several times during the sanding process, just to kind of try to pull all the extra dust out of there as possible before I apply mineral spirits. And then once I apply mineral spirits, what I really like to do is to kind of buff it all out. And so I want to give as much of a shine and a sheen on the wood before I apply a finish. So there we have it, and I think it's turned out very good. I really enjoyed making it. It started out a little scary because there were a lot of corners flipping around there really quickly, but it was a lot of fun too. Thank you very much for your time and for your attention. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. This isn't the type of content I usually make on this channel. I usually talk about camera gear. That's kind of another passion of mine. So if you like this kind of content, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. So yeah, thank you very much for your time and for your attention, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one.